It is the end of 2019. A year always goes by quickly, but this time I genuinely feel like I was just here talking about 2018. Maybe because I was reflective halfway through the year at graduation. Hard to say. This is now my 6th video where I sit down here in December talking about the year. I've become so good at knowing exactly when things happen in my life because I have these videos as touchstones for literally everything. This year was high highs, some low lows. So much happened in 2019, so I'm just gonna jump right in. I started my year on a pretty emotional note by leaving Chicago and moving to Los Angeles in January. January 1st, I woke up in a hotel bed in Arizona on my way to Los Angeles, taken my car out there, which was a really exciting time, but honestly, during it, it was more emotional. I was leaving behind this feeling that I was starting to feel in Chicago of like feeling grounded and understood, and I was really worried that I wouldn't find that again. Fortunately, when I moved to LA, I was taking classes full-time at a studio lot through my school. It was such an amazing program with like genuine people who I want to know and work with, so much that I'm so grateful for and also very tired from. I was also interning at this production company called Temple Hill, which if you're a book person, you know Temple Hill. Love Simon, The Hate U Give. An absolute dream office to work in, so eye-opening to the entertainment industry. And while I was doing the program, I also picked up a second internship at this streaming startup called Reverie, and I love them a lot because it was queer content, programming a film festival with them, all of this like through full-time classes, made for a very stressful like January through May. Looking back, also some magical times, definitely memories during the semester that I absolutely cherish. During the semester, I had the opportunity to work on some really fun indie short sets, and that's where I met so many people that I ended up being friends with for the rest of the year. I had the opportunity to work on Boulet Brothers' Dragula. Loved how the season turned out. To be totally honest, my favorite month of this year was probably May. I came home for pretty much all of that month. I graduated college, spent some good time back in Chicago, spent some good time back at home and with my family, really got my bearings again. And in May, because I was in Chicago, I was able to moderate 2 book events for my friends, Sasha and Lindsay, on the release of Nexus, and Christine for the release of her debut, Again But Better. 2 amazing events, great ways to kick off post-grad. And by the end of May, I was back in Los Angeles in my first ever like real apartment that was not student housing. I moved in and spent a few days building furniture with my mom. We made so many trips to IKEA. We sat on air mattresses and watched The Bold Type and ate Chinese food from down the street. She helped me build my bed, my bookshelf, my dresser, my couch, everything. We built it from IKEA. All of that pretty much launched me into a summer that was very strange and confusing and unlike any other time in my life. Truly a lot of anxiety like I've never experienced before. I went to several acting classes. I got new headshots this year. I made some good steps as an actor. I spent a lot of time with friends this summer. I turned 21 and I was out in West Hollywood the second the clock struck midnight. I saw Betty Who in concert on my birthday. She was my first concert in quite some time. I went with my cousin Emma, who is one of those cousins where we weren't ever friends growing up because we lived far away, but we both moved to LA after college, and now we're the best of friends. So it really was a great year of friends also. The first half of the year I lived with my great friend Jasmine. We went through a very similar path in college, so we were always together, and still true at the end of 2019. So many great books and exciting new releases this year, like such a great year to be a reader. I got to moderate an event for 2 authors, James Brandon and Bill Konigsberg, at the Pasadena Public Library. It was my first hosting gig in Los Angeles, and it was so much fun. We had a great crowd and amazing conversation. I had Stephen Chbosky on my channel this year, an absolute full circle moment from meeting him years ago, perks changing my life in high school. I got to have an amazing conversation with him and read his new book, Imaginary Friend. 700 pages of absolute insanity. This is the first time in a few years I've had an author on my channel, and I'm so grateful to Stephen Chbosky. This was the best reading year I've had in quite some time. Miles ahead of where I have been in previous years, like constantly reading books this year. Was really proud of myself. In July, my family came back out to visit me because they had some time. I got to take my parents to the Abbey in West Hollywood on ladies' night. My parents mean so much to me, and it was so much fun to take them out as a 21-year-old. We took a little trip to New Mexico. We drove sort of through the country once again. Lots of good hikes, lots of good nature this year. I had two major goals going into 2019. I wanted to discipline myself as a writer and figure out what the hell to do with my YouTube channel. I'm very happy to say that in January I started writing a book again. A NaNoWriMo project from 2017. Finished another draft of it, a new first draft in July, but there was another little secret side project that I was working on also since January. So I was sort of just writing that one in like moments of inspiration, but then when I got to the end of this other one, I said to myself, this is not in a good place and I really want to focus on this one, and I've been disciplined on that one ever since, and I'm taking it into the new year and I'm so happy with where it is. So happy. Like, I've said this before, if this book never sees the light of day, I will literally enjoy it on my own. I will read it by myself. I love this story that I'm working on. So, writing this year was so successful. I wrote some songs this year that I was so proud of. I posted my first original song. It was like one of the few videos I put up in the first half of the year. I also took a sketch writing class at Upright Citizens Brigade in Los Angeles, which really got me inspired to start doing sketches again. I left feeling so inspired. My sketch about audiobooks that is on my channel now is something that I wrote in class there. Just at the end of this year, I've really been able to put my heart and soul and time into content that I love making, which also brings me back to the YouTube channel thing. I feel so good about where I am with it now and really want to continue. I know there's some new faces around here and I'm so grateful for that, and I welcome you in, and thank you, I love you so much. This was a full year of living in Los Angeles, a place that I was not sure I was going to stay after I graduated, but it just felt like it made sense not to go there, put so much hard work in, build connections, and then immediately leave. You know, last year this time I didn't know where I'd be now, and I thought I felt that like so heavily. This year, I feel the exact same way. I do not know what life will look like a year from now. I really don't. I have plans, for sure. Things are getting harder, and I'm so here for the hard work, but I really feel all of my dreams just crushing down on me, and I'm ready for it, honestly. LA has grown on me in a lot of ways. I love my friends there. I love my apartment so much. I love the structure I found in my life. This has been a very weird year of health for me, like physical health, unfortunately, and I'm the kind of person where when anything is happening medically with me, my mental health just like goes absolutely berserk. And so unfortunately it's been a really weird year, and I'm really trying not to like cover that up and to be honest about the way I'm feeling, but it's an ongoing daily thing for me. Like, it has not been great all year. Running is something that changed my life a couple years ago. Happy to say that I'm still doing it, and I am going to say this here, that my goal is to run the Chicago Marathon in October of 2020. I really wanted to run a half marathon by the end of 2019. That did not happen. I'll do a half before the full, but like, it's gonna happen. It just is. Running is like, means so much to me. It's the best part of any day that I do it. This was also a lovely year of fun and adventures. Fun and adventures! Friends came to visit LA. Lots of reuniting with some BookTube pals. Joel from Joel Books came to Los Angeles a couple times. Jenna came to LA to visit me. Sometimes I just feel like my life is a series of like irrelevant months and years between seeing Jenna. Christina Marie came to LA and we had the most amazing day together. I love that girl so much. Over Labor Day weekend, I went to visit a friend in New York City and we just did so much. We did everything. We saw Hannah Gadsby live. I freaking got to see Hadestown on Broadway. Absolutely insane. So great to spend some good time with my friend David. My mom came to visit in October and we had a great time. We went to Catalina Island. Emma and I went to San Francisco for a long weekend. We had the best time. There's a whole video about it if you missed it. I ended the year working my ass off and trying my best to be disciplined with book writing, video making, day jobbing. Sometimes it's easy to feel like you're working hard but also skirting around what you know you really want and that thing you know you really need to do. 2020 is the year I stopped doing that. At the end of the day, I know what I want, and my big goal for 2020 is to say yes to more of those things. An amazing year of writing songs and sharing songs. I need to get my ass back out performing, keep that novel momentum. I want to get into more acting classes and put myself out there more. I'm finishing this year feeling young, tired, a little scared, proud of myself, you know, looking back at this decade and how different my life is, even just this year, but especially the decade. I don't want to take any of it for granted, and I really just have started realizing that everyone is out here doing their best. That was the biggest lesson of 2019 for me, and if I can share one thing, like, that's it. More tears than ever, but also some hard laughs, some beautiful memories, and just like a lot of variety. Like, so much happened this year. I can feel it happening. I can feel the more that I say what I want, the more I'm able to make it happen. So speaking my mind has definitely been a big theme of this year. I want to hear about your year. What are you most proud of? What are you looking forward to in the new year? 2020 is a question mark in a lot of ways, but honestly, that's kind of how I like to do it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tiernan. Happy New Year. See you guys very soon. Isn't it? It's just a good feeling. Goodbye.